want to turn to the coach.
Well, we're happy to be here talking about the advent of a new season. Tomorrow night's exhibition game will be fun from an aspect of, I'm doing this because of Jeff and his career here at Nebraska, guys like Brian Carr, taking the time to visit with those guys as we recognized the anniversary of their NCAA tournament run. I thought it was a good idea to play him and give his program. He's had a chance to play the Michigan schools before, but getting back here so he can show his players where he played, and we can just reconcile and bring a guy back and celebrate him, and hopefully by just kicking the crap out of him. That's the goal, right? So, and then, we'll get started on Saturday night. It'll be a good one. If you look at Eastern Illinois, and Coach Spoonhour's done a terrific job, continue to rebuild that program. And Eastern is, one of the, I've been at regional schools before. It's not always the easiest gig in the world when it comes to budget and everything else. And you look at what they did to Illinois the other night. They're, it was very impressive. So, we're going to get started with a bang. You realize in a hurry in college basketball, there's no nights off. That you've got to be able to be ready to go, and we'll go from there. A couple things to note. I'm going to hold a few guys out of the exhibition game, I believe, at this point in time. Anton Gill, almost certainly, and probably Isaiah Roby. Anton is just with the knee. Then I think his knee was sore, and he suffered a little bit of a groin pull. So those are sensitive things, and so I want to make sure he's full go when he can come back. And Roby hurt the joint of a finger about 3 weeks ago, and the other night when they threw him a half-court lob in the open scrimmage, of course, he bangs it on the glass as he drops it and re-injures the finger. And I just want to make sure that thing's ready to go too. And so we'll just see from there, and if I'll have any more. See how practice goes today. See if we survive it. So with that, any questions?
Given the fact that the schedule is kind of daunting pretty early, how much do you balance experimenting with different lineups, playing a lot of guys, while also trying to find a core group when competition kicks?
Sure. It might depend on the night. We could play big or small or medium, which is I like the versatility of this team. I think you got to have a real pulse for your team. Basketball is its own little beast. The largest guys in the smallest area. High traffic, high turnover kind of sport like hockey, for instance. You like hockey, basically you like basketball with just constant and instantaneous turnovers over and over and over, right? That's a joke, Who likes watching turnovers? Hockey fans. So as you look at this, takeaways. Listen to the Blackhawks dude over here, takeaways. They missed their target by 10 feet. All right. Take it away. Whatever your I won't even say it. Your name is. But hey, considering that they now have 3 teams south of the Arctic Circle, I'm glad that hockey's really progressing well in the U.S. But as I look at this and we get back on task, I don't know. Where was I? What was the question?
Playing guys.
Oh, playing guys. I got it now. I'm back. So I think it depends on the night. Depending on what groups working well together. The biggest thing with this team is communication. There are some groups that right now do not communicate well together, are not, switching screens, aren't doing the things that just normal game plan stuff. You have your absolutes of this is the way we play. When this action happens, this is what our base defense looks like. Then you have game plan stuff like this dude, you're not going to let him do this, and this guy, you're going to make sure we're going to double him or whatever. Well, some of our guys still aren't doing the base stuff correctly, and so you got to be careful about putting too many of those guys out there at the same time.
Tim, an exhibition game, you schedule people in the business or local schools. Did you learn that from somebody, or did you just think that was? Why did you come up with that?
Well, no, I just wanted to do it because I was a small college guy, and we never had many opportunities to play up, and so when I realized, that we had to, as a Division I head coach, I always kind of went to, try to be a good neighbor, but also try to look out for, my guys or people that were special to a university or whatever it might be, and I think Jeff is certainly special to us.
Did he speak?
Yeah, he bugged me for years on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I had to hold him hostage a little bit, Made him get me on Crystal Downs.
But you don't want to show him any compassion.
Why start now? Yeah, I mean, no, I don't.
Have you got any closer to red shirt conversations, those types of things, or are you still kind of evaluating that? It has not been discussed. It's been brought up. We're letting it kind of sink in, to mull over, and then going to decide from there. And ultimately, I will allow the players to make that decision. I'm not going to force anybody to redshirt. But they need to know, too, what some, unintended consequences could be in terms of but every guy wants to have a horse in the race and want to have a chance to play. So your first reaction usually is like, no, I want to play. But we'll just see. So I'll have more on that, obviously, before we play Eastern.
Is Copeland's back surgery, is that
I'd say
past, or how do you handle it?
No, I mean, there's the days he gets sore. There's still days he gets sore. I would say Anton gets more sore than Isaac, but at the same time, there's some days today we really have to back off. We've gone really hard 2 days in a row. We get those catapult systems that judge their movements and can base the intensity of their practices and their volume of the energy, and we've really 4 of the last 6 practices kind of blown it through the roof, which is good. It says a lot about these guys. They're competitive and they practice hard. You look at our marks compared to even when we started getting this information a year and 2 years ago. It's at a higher level, which hopefully that means we're going to play at a higher level, right?
Tim, what are you hoping to see out of Glenn Watson this year? He's had a good couple of years now. What's the next step?
Yeah, I believe Glenn Watson is an all Big Ten caliber player. I believe that as you look at him and you look at some of the other point guards I've had that I know are special, Ben Woodside always jumps to my mind, a kid at North Dakota State that I think he gave the Collins kid at Kansas about 39, and in the NCAA tournament, Ben got 60 in a game. And I look at Glenn as that type of, he's a difference maker, and he can get his own shot at the end of a clock. He's not afraid to take a big shot, an important shot at the end of a shot clock or game clock. I remember against Rhode Island our freshman year, he dribbled to the middle and did like a 12-foot step through and hit it with about 30 seconds left. That really kind of iced the game for us. And I didn't see him practice that one very much, but he took it and he hit it, and that's the kind of player he is. So you knew that he's got some huevos in there that a lot of other guys don't, and I'm just excited to see him continue to progress. He's shooting it better than ever. He's fast. I think he's passing it better. His assists are up in practice, so that's good. It also helps when the guys you throw it to shoot and make it. Hell of an idea.
Do you feel better prepared at all, just having to play the exhibition?
No question. I think the charity game, too, also helped. The exhibition with Mississippi State, and then you got down and we really played the scrimmage with Iowa State. Steve wanted to play that just like a game, so we played it like a 40-minute game. And so both those felt like games. And I think that, having to go against that type of athleticism that they've got, and Ben is really physical and runs a lot of actions, and then Steve is very defensive minded, and it's just a different set of circumstances both nights out. We had to travel for one, and got to be home for the other, so I feel probably more ready than we've been, at least more ready to know what to expect. You know what I mean? So I think that's important.
With so many new players, how excited are you to unveil these guys to the fans, I guess?
I'm very excited to unveil this team. I think it's, There's a lot of newcomers, right? But they might be new to our fans, not so new to us. You know, we've had them around, maybe redshirting or out injured or whatever it might be, or recruited them for a great, you know, we recruited Thomas Allen forever, it felt like, you know, because he'd committed to North Carolina State. When they fired Mark Godfrey, he got out of that commitment. We had to re-recruit him. And so, you know, we've known these guys for a long time, and I'm excited to get them on the floor and just have a blast. And I'm really looking forward to making Pinnacle Bank Arena a lot of fun. Anything else? Thank you.